Hi, this is Rod. This is PhD student. Two things to do before you enroll in a PhD. However, if you're already in a PhD, just continue watching because what I want to share with you affects you as well. Before we go further, I have been helping PhD students for many years. And I also teach part-time in university. So let's get started. There are many important things which can be utilized by the PhD student to prepare for a PhD. However, the preparation would depend in part if the student is studying for a PhD on campus or studying for a PhD online, right? So I have a video actually which explains some of the differences between studying for a PhD on campus or studying online. Check it out. Just simply enter into YouTube, PhD, the search words PhD, life, online versus campus PhD programs. You can check it out via my Rod Pallister YouTube channel. By the way, I have two YouTube channels, both named Rod Pallister. One is for PhD students, one is for all students wanting to learn English or to improve their English. Okay, in another video titled PhD Student, 50% of PhD students never make it to the finishing line. What are your chances? I've suggested in this video that there are two primary reasons which lead to such a high attrition rate. So therefore the new PhD students should ensure that they prepare for the PhD arena with their eyes wide open, not wide shut. In this video, I suggest or posit that one of the main primary reasons why students fail to complete a PhD is insufficient psychological preparation. By the way, check out the statistics online. 50% of PhD students never make it to the finishing line. They never complete their PhD. It's pretty high, yeah? So, here's the first reason why. This is why, in my opinion, this is a fact. The first reason is it's a lack of psychological preparation. I argue that the PhD student needs to be psychologically prepared, preferably prior to entering into a PhD program. However, if you're already in it, if you started, this video is for you too. So even if you're in the early or middle stages or what they call milestones, you should take time out and seriously revisit how you psychologically approach this critical point in your life. It is critical, right? One of the issues noted in that video, PhD student, 50% of PhD students never make it to the finishing line. What are your chances? I argue that the initial PhD student stages are relatively easy, as students are often required to complete weekly assignments. This is in order to gain the necessary credits they need to qualify to write their PhD dissertation proposal. This usually takes about 2 years. Maybe a bit longer, maybe sometimes shorter. Basically, each of these courses are worth 3 credits, and students, for example, would probably need around 60 credits in order to qualify to enter into their dissertation stage. So one course may be 12 weekly assignments, probably 5 to 7 pages needs to be written, sometimes a little bit longer, sometimes with like a mini exam, and these are all graded by the supervisor and along with supervisor feedback. However, let's assume you, for example, if and when you have acquired these required credits and you've got the permission to write your dissertation proposal, don't be fooled in your preparation for the dissertation proposal stage. Don't base your preparation based on what you've done so far, those 2 years, because they're relatively easy compared to the next big stage, i.e. your dissertation. This is where it is at this stage where many PhD students hit a major roadblock when they get to the dissertation stage. I'm dead serious. So, if you haven't started yet, or if you already started your PhD, listen very carefully what I'm going to suggest to you. Oh, by the way, the 2 years you need to prepare or to acquire those credit points or those credits can vary a lot depending if you're studying full-time or part-time, or if you're studying for a PhD online or on campus. So, it's kind of like when PhD students experience this major roadblock, they're now at the beginning of their dissertation proposal. It may seem that the hill you've been climbing so far during these early stages has suddenly become steeper and more treacherous. This is often a major psychological setback. This is when in my opinion, most or many of PhD students who are going to fail right at this stage when they're entering into the stage of their dissertation proposal. Why? Because it's no longer a hill anymore. It looks like a mountain that goes on forever. It's insurmountable. And based on my experience working with PhD students over many years, just tackling chapter 1 of the dissertation proposal is a serious psychological challenge. For example, how does the PhD student tackle their research problem and the topic which is central to their study? You know, despite gaining A and B grades during the early PhD milestones, suddenly the PhD student is on their own. They need to gain the university's approval for their research topic. Now you're climbing unknown terrain. I believe most PhD students possess sufficient ability and talent to complete a PhD program, but it's the psychological aspect in tackling a PhD which many students are simply unprepared for. It is here, of course, that PhD students can utilize professional support services such as my website, clinicpaperwriting.co.uk, therefore ensuring they are not pursuing routes up the PhD mountain which lead nowhere. So why don't you simply click on the link below, clinicpaperwriting.co.uk. What have you got to lose? Come on. My advice is free. Contact me today. So, now is the time to psychologically prepare, not after you have enrolled. However, you have enrolled, still important. You still need to think about the psychological preparation. There's another reason, the second reason, why 50% of PhD students never make it to the finishing line. And this relates to the student and supervisor relationship. In the video, PhD student, 50% of PhD students never make it to the finishing line. What are your chances? I argue that if there's not sufficient chemistry and trust between the student and the supervisor, then the odds of completing your PhD are greatly reduced. You're more likely to fail. I'm sorry about the bad news. I'm not trying to be negative. It's a fact. And I make this simple claim based on years of assisting PhD students. Just like you, if there's an issue in the relationship between the student and the supervisor, or just like in your personal relationships right now, if there's an issue, you need to fix it. So if you have this issue or there's a problem between you and the supervisor, you should immediately either attempt to develop this chemistry, this relationship, this trust, or B, consult with the university administrator or maybe a senior faculty member. So you change your supervisor. You can't apportion blame to either the student or the supervisor should there be a lack of chemistry and trust. As these two relationship components are often invisible, you can't see this trust, you can't see this relationship. Like a signal on your phone. You can't see it, but it's there, right? So in any serious relationship, like in a marriage, or with two couples who are together, two people who are together in a relationship, that chemistry and trust is critical, right? You know this. So rather than try to figure out who is to blame, it is more important to accept that this problem exists or may exist if you are still going to enroll, and take immediate steps to rectify it. Be proactive. Don't wait until you fail a course and you've got to spend thousands of dollars to retake it. Don't wait till then. Or don't wait till when you finally have had enough, you can't take it anymore, you quit. And you've lost all that time and money. So, if you want to change your supervisor, this is for those of you already in a course, on the PhD course. This can be a delicate issue to change your supervisor. So the PhD student should seek professional guidance prior to attempting to change their supervisor. Contact me. Click on the website link below. So now is the time to select who will travel with you on unfamiliar and sometimes treacherous terrain. Invest into your selection criteria wisely. It's like a marriage. Who you choose is critical to the relationship, right? Your PhD life and the next 40 years, now your career, depends on it. So for many years, PhD and master's students have contacted me only after the wheels fell off. 87% of my students only contacted me after failing a part of the course of their PhD program and having to pay thousands of dollars. What a waste. We all know that stress and problems are everyday issues which all PhD students have to learn to process. It's normal. This throughout the daily journey up the steep and sometimes scary PhD mountain. Often the causation or reason behind the stress and difficult problems is surprisingly simple to address and resolve. Many students have contacted me after hitting a roadblock. I've been surprised how simple the solution is. The PhD journey is often lonely and frustrating, but it doesn't have to be like that, my friend. Help is out there and advice is freely available. If you'd like to watch more of these videos, then subscribe and also click on my YouTube channel and access both existing videos, and you'll be notified every week when a new video is uploaded. Finally, what is the main thing to take away here? Prepare now and it will pay off later. Be proactive. So, my friend, simply click right now on the website link below or email me. It's that simple. Hey guys, I'm right here. It's what I do. I love helping PhD students. So let's talk, right? In closing, thank you for watching me. And until the next time, good night.